Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Welcome to today's webinar about our new service, which is called Teammate. I will share my screen and we'll start right away. Give me just 1 second here. So you should see my screen anytime now. So today's webinar is about a product that we're launching called Teammate. So without further ado, let's explain a little bit what Teammate is. First of all, my name is Carl. I am VP of Cloud Infra, which means I handle all of our cloud products, both on the product side and on the support side. So most of you must know me. We probably already chatted a few times in the past. So let's talk about this new product called Teammate, your technical ally. And before I get into what the product actually is, I want to explain why this product came about. So doing a lot of conferences everywhere and speaking to a lot of partners on new technologies, I discovered one thing, and that kept coming back every time. So I would talk to a partner and say, for example, hey, have you guys have started using global secured access? And they say, you know what? We saw it in the portal, we know it's available, but we have no idea how to set it up. And to be honest, we have a big lack of resources right now. So we're looking for new technicians. We're having a hard time hiring new technicians. The technicians we have don't have time to discover new technologies. Their weeks are full just doing whatever is, whatever we have to do to keep the lights on and service our clients. And that was a recurring pattern. Every time I would talk about a new technology, clients would partners would tell me the exact same thing. Lack of resources to actually discover these new technologies, and we don't want to go blind in any new technologies with our clients. We want to make 100% sure we understand the technology. On the other hand, a lot of them told us, you know what, it's a shame because we do have a lot of clients that could benefit from this, and we do have a lot of requests from clients which we just push on the back burner, and we don't have any time to actually deliver those products. So that's how Teammate came about. So what exactly is Teammate? Well, it's three separate things, to be honest with you. So it's a service in which we will use a training and expertise transfer approach. So, in other words, we will teach you how to do the project, but we will also accompany you in delivering that project. Let me give you a simple example. If your client wants to deliver Teams Phone, but you've never done this before, you can just subscribe to Teammate. We'll take one of your technicians. It could be a junior tech. That's not a problem. We'll teach him how to do the scoping. So, what's required, which type of licenses, how to model the product, what are the different categories of licenses that you can purchase and how you can do it. So we'll actually scope the project and we'll make sure we have the most perfect scenario for that specific client. Once that's completed, we'll actually train your technician on how to deliver the product, and we'll deliver it with him. So we'll do the project with your technician from start to finish to handoff. So once we've completed the project and that now he knows every step that is required, we'll hand it off and then you can take it from there. And we can rinse and repeat that process as long as your technician feels that he's comfortable in delivering those projects himself, right? Now, right now, we have a few different SKUs if we look at Teammate. There are more actually within the catalog, but I put four examples here. So any type of Azure products, and we're talking mostly Azure Virtual Desktops, which is one of the most popular products. So again, we'll teach your technicians how to scope the project, and we'll also deliver the projects with them. We'll do the heavy lifting, we'll do the whole project in a teaching pattern, but we'll do the heavy lifting and show them how to do it. Same with Teams Phone, same with things like business to business multi tenants. I also added a special SKU, which is called proof of concept. So if you have a project that maybe encompasses different factors or different types of scenarios and you're not 100% sure how to deliver that, we'll help you with that as well. We'll scope it. And then we'll define a sort of a bank of hour, and we'll just deliver it in that fashion. So again, remember, it's not just a delivery of the product, but it's also accompaniment, training, and the whole scoping of the system. So not only the analysis, but the architecture. What is required to deliver that project? How do we deliver the project from start to finish, right? So all of these things will be included within Teammate. Now, seeing it on paper is one thing. Let's look at it live for a little bit. So let's go within an IT Cloud portal. So this is your standard portal, which you guys are probably used to seeing. And let's look at what Teammate can do. So on the left-hand menu, you will see Teammate. Now I need to tell you one thing. The only person for the time being, the only person that can see this tile is the principal account. So when you go to your portal, it will be your account that you see within the profile. So that account is the only one that will see Teammate for now. So log in with your principal account and you will see this Teammate tile. Within the Teammate tile, you'll see all of the projects which are currently ongoing, and I'll explain these in a few minutes. But the most important thing, and this is step one. So if you're taking notes, step one is to go within Teammate and then just start by scheduling a meeting. So what that means is this is the analysis meeting. So before any project, you should always schedule a meeting right here. This is free. There's no charge for this project right here, for this analysis, I mean. There's no fee for the analysis. It's completely free, but it will allow us to scope. The reason we're doing it in two phases is I wanted to make sure that no one is purchasing a project first, and then once we do the scoping, we realize that it's too expensive or that because of technical issues, we cannot deliver it in the fashion the client wants. And then we have to cancel everything. So this is why this is a first step. It's a pre-analysis. We'll look at everything together. If it's an Azure, for example, if it's an Azure subscription, we'll look at how much it will cost. How do you actually do the costing in Azure? We'll go through the whole thing. It'll take a few hours maybe, but we'll show you how to do everything. And the end, if your client does decide that, yep, this is within my price range and I want to go ahead with it, then you will purchase the service. Okay. So again, first step is you simply schedule a meeting right here, depending on what you need. So right now we have 5 different SKUs: global secured access, multi-tenant collaboration, Teams phone, and Azure virtual desktops. If your service does not fall within one of these 4, you can just use the proof of concept, which is just basically anything else. We'll scope it. We'll see if we can deliver it with you, and we'll scope it from there. But for example, let's say it's a Teams phone setup. Just choose Teams phone, pick an hour that you want to do your analysis, enter your information, and reserve. So that's pretty straightforward. Once we've done the analysis, so we'll get together, we'll look at what licenses are required, we'll look at everything we need. We'll say this is the price the client should expect to pay. If you're okay with that, then you're good to go, and you want to deliver the project. Now you really want to purchase and deliver our services to that client. Remember, everything is white label. If we do talk to the client, we'll talk on your behalf. So that second phase, you'll go to any client you want, new order, and then at the end of the cart, you will see Teammate. So we were talking Teams phone right now. We'll look at a full Teams phone complete setup. We're talking about $349. Now you guys all know that a Teams phone complete setup with analysis and everything from start to finish to handoff, it's probably going to take 5 or 6 hours. So I just wanted to show you how cheap our service is. We are only covering our costs with this. We're not trying to make any money off of you. We only want to cover our cost. The reason behind this is we know that if you start selling things like Teams phone, Azure virtual desktops, global secured access, we'll both win. You'll be securing your clients. You'll be selling additional products. Hence, IT Cloud will also be benefiting from this. So don't be alarmed by the low price. It was a conscious decision. We don't want to make money off of you. We just want to cover our costs. So you'll see everything is very cheap. Even our proof of concept is per hour at $75 per hour, which basically covers our cost of everything internally, right? So let's look at this Teams phone again. Teams phone, it's a one-time fee. Add it to the cart. Click next. So you're familiar with this one. You can sell it direct or indirect. My guess is at this price, you might as well sell it indirect and then charge your client, because you're probably charging way more than that. So most people will choose indirect, but it's up to you. Payment method, confirm, accept the terms and conditions, and complete the order. Once this order is completed, you will see the tile for that product within the client, and that's our little project. So this is our little project for our demo client here, and we can see the project details. So if we go in here, we'll see all of the project details from all of the steps that we'll complete, and we also have this section at the bottom to add notes, okay? You'll also see another booking link. So you might ask yourself, why do I have two booking links? Well, remember, the first one is simply to do the analysis. And once that's completed, we might do the project, we might not. We might decide that, you know what, it's too expensive for that client, and we stop there. So that's why there's two booking links. One for the analysis and one for the actual job. So this time we'll actually book the job. We know that the client's accepted. We understand everything involved. We'll just book it. Again, same thing. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing again here. And we will just go back to our project. So once that's done, our technicians and your technicians will complete the steps here. So they might say, okay, the project analysis is done. That's fine. We've created and assigned the licenses. We've done the E911 configuration and the localized configuration. We've purchased and ported numbers. So we're up to here now. But the purchasing and porting of the numbers, this might take a little bit of time. So now we'll start adding notes. Number port requested. Waiting on Microsoft. And we'll add that. So we can add all of these notes at the bottom so you have a trace. And if you need to do this project again with another client, you could just revise those notes. These notes could be a lot of things. If there's a PowerShell command to do because of something particular with that client, we'll add the PowerShell command. You understand what I mean here? It's just notes between my technicians and your technicians so that they actually have a physical trace of what went on. Usually I would expect this to be filled with notes, right? Because we want them to keep a trace of everything that was going on every step of the way. So let's say they just stop the project here for a little bit. You'll see that within our project management center right here, we'll see this project is ongoing. We're at step 4 of 6. Maybe it will be a few days later before they actually complete the process. So what they'll do a few days later is they'll go back in here. They'll say, okay, we have our ported number now. We're going to configure our auto attendant. We're going to test everything, and then there's a handoff. We're good to go. The project is saved, and now this project is completed, and you'll see it will have disappeared from our interface. Now, a lot of people have said, you know what? I would have liked to keep that tile anyway so I can revisit it. Well, you always can. If you go back to that specific client, which was right this one, you'll see that the tile has disappeared, but that's because I'm only showing the active products. And we consider that one to be completed. Hence, it's not active anymore. It's been completed. It's closed. So if you go here to any product, you should see your team's phone. So I already did 2 demos, so I have 2 of them, but I can already revisit everything that was noted in here every step of the way. So it allows you to go back and revisit whatever project you would. A lot of notes. Obviously, I'm just doing a demo here, so I'm just putting in a few notes, but our technicians are instructed to add notes all the step of the way, and your technician should be encouraged as well to add notes so we have a clear trace of everything that went on every step of the way from start to handoff. And it's that simple. Every project will also come with, let me show you right here, will come with a sheet of everything that we're going to do. So if you want to know, for example, what we do for an Azure Virtual Desktop project, we have the description here, and we'll have detailed steps of everything that will be done for an Azure Virtual Desktop. So you guys can use this internally, but it's just a nice pattern to show you every step that will be completed by our technicians and also taught to your technicians, right? We'll teach them every step of the way how to do everything. So it's really for you, it's gaining the ability to have a senior technician to train your technician. So you're saving a lot of time on testing, understanding how things work. We'll take all of that out off of the equation, and we'll do it for you. Plus, it allows you to deliver your first projects with ease of mind, and making sure that someone that's done this time and time again knows what they're doing and teaches your technicians how to do it as well. Okay, so our service catalog will grow. We're already adding different things, but for the time being, if something's not in there, you can just use the proof of concept and that will be fine, work as well. All right. This webinar and all of our webinars are always recorded, and you can always find them on our YouTube channel. So allow a few days from the time the webinar was presented. So for example, this webinar today should be on our YouTube channel anytime at the beginning of next week. So just go to look at the channel if you want to see any older webinars that we gave. Majida, did we have any questions for this presentation?
Yes, we have two. Hello, everyone. So Randy asked a question. What about Azure Virtual Server?
Yes, it's all part of the proof of concept. So if you want a virtual server in Azure, Azure Virtual Desktops and Azure Virtual Servers basically fall under the same service. But if you want a specialized server or migrate a server, you could just use the proof of concept SKU, and we'll build it and analyze it from there.
Another question from Wilson. Does Teammate take on Dynamics 365 projects?
That's a very good question. Dynamics 365 deployments are really integration. They need more business critical thinking and business analysis. That is something that we can do little bits, but not enough. I'm not confident enough that we could deliver a whole project. There are people specializing in these, and that's a whole new job on its own. So I do not think for the time being that we will do dynamic 365 deployments. That's really business oriented and requires more than just technical knowledge.
We don't have any other question. Oh, Anis is writing something.
So while Anis is writing, as I was saying, this is accompaniment where we're really talking about technical things. I love that dynamic 365 questions. It's actually making me think right now in the back end if that's something down the road that we could deliver. For those of you that have never done 365 Dynamics 365 implementations, they require a lot in terms of business knowledge, so the P&Ls and how to interconnect everything and billing. So it's a whole other skill set, but it's something that we should probably try to add in our catalog because it's a request that we have from a few partners.
Okay, Michael wrote, are we sending the partners a statement of work after the scoping core?
Yeah, the statement of work is actually what I showed you within the project. So we're following every step of the way, and the one sheet. So the one sheet is actually every step that we complete. Outside of those, it's out of scope. So if a partner says, well, now we've set up our AVD, but we also need to set up a VPN connection to this site or that site, obviously that will need to be extra depending on the cases, but the statement of work is the one sheeter and the project.
Another question for you. What other product services that are already on your roadmap?
Okay, so on our roadmap is Copilot readiness. So a project which we would ready the 365 for Copilot security and all of that. We also have a full MFA configuration, though that might seem silly, but nowadays with the campaigns and with the different ways that we can set up MFA, there's a clear recipe on what's the best. So that one will be full MFA, conditional access, and doing the campaigns in the proper way to ensure that everyone has the safest MFA. So that's another one that we have. We also have Azure migration. So if you have an on-premise system and you want to migrate to 365 or Azure, we also have that, let's say from on-premise to cloud lift and shift, and we're working on many others. As I said, this should not stop you. We're ready to do them technically. We're just building the one pagers and building all of that, but technically we're ready. So if you have a project like that, just for now, use the proof of concept project. We'll make it work, no problem. It's just clerical that we're building the one-pagers, building the documents and all of that, but we can deliver the technical project for the time being. Just use proof of concept and you'll be good to go.
Waiting for Robert. He's writing a question. I think there is no more. No, Robert is typing. Yeah. Robert says, but these projects are constrained by the specific services you offer. If it integrated with Ubiquiti, Cisco, etc., that will be out of scope?
Well, that one would be a good example of the proof of concept. The proof of concept will be many things. So if you, for example, have a client with a Meraki setup in the front end, and we need to do a VPN site to site, we're used to doing that, and we can definitely do it. But once we analyze that project, I'll see, how far we can take it. Who do we have on hand that can, for example, configure that Meraki system? What type of link is in the back end of that Meraki system? Will it be able to do VPN site to site with Microsoft? That will all be part of the analysis. Once we've determined that, yes, you know what, we do have the skill set to do this, we can do it for you, and there's no cost up to there for you. We're just analyzing everything and architecturing everything, and sometimes maybe we'll come up with different ideas and say, you know what, we could do it in a different manner and it would be less expensive. Once we come up with all of that and you sign off and you say, you know what, I'm good with this, then this could all fall into the proof of concept. So the proof of concept one can integrate different products. We'll let you know, if we know that we don't have the skill set to support a certain product, we'll let you know. And if we do have the skill set, we'll build it in a proof of concept and it will be a project on its own and we'll take it from there.
Is there an API available to integrate outside platforms with yours?
Yes, we do have APIs. If you call our partner department, they can show you which APIs we currently have and we can open them. Most APIs are there for looking at your invoices, managing all of that aspect. There's no particular API for the Teammate program, but if you do want to pull in different information from your portal, yes, we definitely do have APIs for the backend portal.
Do you program specific connector to integrate with third party as well?
Yes, we have ConnectWise and Autotask.
Robert said, I was thinking ticketing system and project management.
No, for the time being, we do not have that with Teammate. That's a great idea. That's something we can work in. But for the time being, we do not have those integrations.
Waiting for Randy to write his question. Very good solution. Thanks, Carl and gang. Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone. You have my email and phone number right here. Feel free.
Excuse me, Carl. 1 second. I have. Okay. Just some comment from Marcus. This is a great added services. I think there is no more question.
Perfect. So just remember, this will be available in your cart for the time being, only for the main account. We are working on doing role-based access so that your other technicians could also have access to that. But for the time being, it's only for the main account. It should be ready for your other technicians anytime within the next few weeks. But it's fully functional, so you just log in with your main account and you have everything you need.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a nice day and the rest of your week.